Welcome class to Biology 101
where every
with
Friday
the
night
American
in the foundations
Bi
of bisexuality and curiously poking around with some of the questions you submitted on askabyguy.com and askatomboy.com. Now, I am your host, the American Bi Guy, your friendly American bystander and advocate for the bisexual community. And that's in a very warm welcome to all of you bisexual teammates out there on the Bi team, whether you are sitting on the sidelines or out there playing the field as players, baby. I'll also welcome all you straight folks in the audience, side kicking it with us, and all of the gay community who are out there living their best lives as the world's ideal mascot. Now, before I begin today's lesson, I like to take a moment to lay on the field of reflection, where you take a moment to sit back and appreciate how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, and how awesome the world is with you flourishing in it. Now remember, folks, no matter what team you may rep, remember we are all children of planet Earth and we all enjoy the sport of being who we really are. And hopefully you walk away from today's lesson feeling loved, empowered, inspired, and a little bit better understanding about bisexuality and maybe even your own curiosity. Now, class is in session, and today's topic, I like to first lay the foundation of bisexuality. How do you know if you're bisexual? What is bisexuality, right? Well, bi people are like vampires and werewolves, and forgive me if you've heard me say this before, but for those of you new folks out there joining us, I gotta lay the foundations really quick, so just about a minute of your time. We're like vampires and werewolves because, one, they say we don't exist, but we really do exist, right? I hope vampires and werewolves don't exist, but also because we transform and play when the moon is full. When the moon is full, we let you know if you make the cut or not. Many people may not make the cut. And that's the beauty about bisexuality is that, some people say come out of the closet, you're in denial, you're confused. No, part of our identity is being in that closet. We've been in that closet for a long time, like a very long time. And there's a lot of beauty in that closet. And while we love the gay community and we understand, your fight and we're certainly there with you, there has really been an effort to erase us. I mean, a lot of people use terms from pansexual to heteroflexible and what have you. Or non-binary, do your thing. But a lot of this falls on the umbrella of bisexuality. And I feel like everybody, a part of the LGBTQ acronym, has had their chariot take off. But why hasn't the chariot for the bi team taken off? Why is that? Because people don't want to talk about it, even though I think, and in my experience living across the country in 10 states, we are the largest group. And I say we're the largest group because you self-identify. We know what straight means, right? You like apricots, just for instance. We know what gay means, right? You like cranberries, right? And as a bi man, I like apricots and cranberries. I just don't want cranberry sauce all year long, right? That's the beauty of it, is that when you're on the bi team, you are the captain of your team. You decide who makes the cut. You decide how far you want to play, if you want to play, right? And that's the beauty of it. Well, with that being said, you have to self-identify. But unfortunately, our community has not taken off because I think a lot of people think about this. They just don't know how to, internalize it, but also, put it out there to where they're understood. As your American Bi Guy, I'm going to do everything I can in this life and set it up for even when I'm 100 and something years old and I've gone on, so that people like me or people like us can feel accepted and not be ashamed of who we are. That is my goal, and I work extremely hard conceptualizing and figuring out ways to bring awareness to a community that is by far the largest, honestly, like I said before. Some people are, I like to say, anyone who's bisexual is a teammate. And I use that term because it builds camaraderie. Not only does it do that, but you can self-identify. We know what a team looks like, right? You pick your position, you have your number. Same thing on the bi team, right? Maybe you're 80-20, 80% gender opposite sex, 20% same sex, 70-30. I don't know, right? But understand that you are on the team. If you say you're pansexual, great, you're still on the team. Your uniform just look a little bit different, baby. You got bells and whistles on it. Identify however you choose to, but don't try to erase a large group of people in the process. And as a man, I really feel as though, as a black man, we really need to have the conversation because we oftentimes, one, say we don't exist and blackmail, like, oh, I'm not with that gay crap, and F all that, that pride stuff and gay stuff, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden, when we're in a closed environment, all of a sudden you're in prison or whatever, you popping wood for men. You like cranberries, right? You always like cranberries. You're just good at hiding it when you were out. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that as far as like what type of cranberries and how you think about it, how to feel, when it happens. And when it does happen, like I said before, it is a cycle. The bicycle is real. I don't know when it happens. Maybe when the moon is full. Maybe when you eat certain foods. Hell, maybe we eat corn or broccoli. I don't know how often it goes off, but understand that it will go off. And when it does go off, it's okay. Don't freak out. There's different ways to deal with it. Some people, of course, will look at porn, right? Some people will go download an app, right? And go find somebody and hook up with them. Some people will just go send that text message to that one person on their phone that makes the cut for them, or that one gay person in their phone. Not everybody wants to play, right? But sometimes we have different ways of going about it. And I think that's what's wrong with how the gay community understands bisexual people. And on the flip end, we are not innocent, because a lot of bi people will play games with people. And we'll talk about that later on in the course. But what I want you to understand is that when you are bisexual, it is a beautiful thing. Baby, if you're privileged enough to be straight, go for it. If you are privileged enough to be, gay, great. But baby, if you are lucky enough to be on the bi team, the world is your playground, and you are the captain of that team, and you decide who makes the cut and who doesn't. A lot of times we know with this, use a lot of analogies, and I like to say that because it's a little bit people understand, especially people who come from a very closed off environment. If your favorite food is pizza, right? You just like pizza. If your favorite food is seafood, you like seafood. But maybe you like both. It's okay to like both. But in society, you will have mankind tell you what it must look like, how you must go about it. And if I meet someone, man or woman, right, who I'm want to talk to, and I'm single, I'm going to be single for a very, very, very long time. Okay. But if I meet someone and they're not okay with me being bisexual, it does not mean that they are a terrible person. It does not mean that, I'm all of a sudden a horrible person. I'm just not for them. And I think that as bi people, we need that collectivism. We need to, have a space where we can let our thoughts go and our curiosities and not necessarily pursue them. I think a big part of the bi community as we craft this thing out is really acknowledging one word. And that one word is erotica. Erotica is so important, and it's oftentimes skipped, especially in the gay community. If you're turned on by someone you weren't expected to be turned on by, great, right? You're just turned on by it. Doesn't mean you have to go jump into bed with them. I'm just really turned on. I didn't know I was going to be turned on, but hey, I'm turned on. Erotica is very sexy. And I feel like a lot of times that people will beat themselves up mentally because they are in a place where they're intrigued by somebody of the same sex, right? They're in a position where I'm like, okay, I'm actually intrigued. I'm a little curious. But it doesn't mean that every teammate plays. Some things belong and should remain on the astral plane, right? For that person. Not everybody, but it's okay for some thoughts to remain on the astral plane. And we all have them, folks. We all have them. I don't know why we pretend that we don't, and it doesn't always have to be sexuality, but at the end of the day, people have their thoughts. So what I want you guys to think about, is, who are you? Are you someone who's a little curious about cranberries? Cranberries being same sex. Maybe one of those people who don't want to eat the cranberries, but you want to be in the room while they're baking in muffins, right? Which is when you get those people who are hanging out, at gay clubs and gay bars, right? Oh, they like the attention and whatnot. And they're sure they like the energy, but there's also, they just like it. They maybe won't eat, right? But they're there. It's okay. But if you are bisexual, understand that you are one of the lucky ones, baby. You are. And there's nothing new under the sun. It's just that, society has told you this is what it must look like, this is what go about it. And I'm like, oh, no, so if you're an American bi guy, baby, live your best life. Be safe. And I'm a big advocate for getting tested and knowing your status, and anyone who knows me knows that. But we'll talk about that later on too. But understand that, we're like vampires and werewolves. And vampires and werewolves don't walk around saying, hey, look at me, I'm a vampire werewolf. You know, it's not my job as an American bi guy to point you out. I'm not going to do that. We see each other. You see me, I see you. You know how many people in the gym eye bang me? I was in there earlier today, actually. And I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, you know what? It's been a while. I haven't really been in the gym because I've been so busy. But a couple guys eye banging me. Some of them had girlfriends in the room. Some of them had ring on their thing. I don't know who they're married to. But they were looking. They were staring. You know, maybe they're attracted to my biceps. Maybe they're attracted to us. I don't know, right? Like, my bi formula, and that's what I like to call it, you know, as far as like your attraction and what you like, doesn't call for muscles. Today, I actually forced myself to say, okay, you know what? There's this guy looking at me. He's jacked. You know, would he make the cut? To a degree, he would. I'm not really attracted to muscles, but some people are. And it's okay if you're attracted to muscles on a man or a woman, what have you. If you're attracted to it, you just are. But it doesn't mean you have to jump into bed with them. And I really need people to understand that. That is part of the identity as a bi person. You know, a lot of times the bi men will do subtle things. We love subtlety. We love to be turned on, right? Or turn you on. A lot of guys will wear things like hoochie daddy's yours, right? Oh, I'm straight. Or they'll do things like, you know, wear these tight joggers and knowing that women are looking and there's obviously guys looking, or, you know, they work on their butt. And a lot of guys that just look at me do these squats. Yeah, I got these huge thighs and huge butt. Yeah, it's cool. But you also know that the gay guy who's standing next to you is like, yo, what's up? You know, and then you're like, oh, I'm not like that. But you've done everything from A to Z to get their attention. You've done everything right to get them to look at you and be like, you look like a whole snack, right? And if they try to come at you, you're gonna get, you know, offended. Or some guys don't, but you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not like that. But you wanted the attention. You put on a $60 pair of Spanx, walked into a gym with nothing, mostly men, right? And when somebody's staring at you, or I get banging you, or they get the courage to come up to you, all of a sudden, you know, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You're some type of teammate, or you like the attraction bi. And I'm not beating you up for that. I'm just carving out what it looks like, because I'm tired of playing these games with people, or I'm tired of people telling me, you know, well, I think he likes me. I'm not really sure. I think you make the cut, you know, but they may not play. So, at the end of the day, understand that bisexuality is a beautiful identity, and I will be sharing with you stories of not just myself, but introducing you guys to some people, you know, some of which you will, you know, show you openly bi, and some of which you remain anonymous, and we'll have discussions about it and talk about it and really lay out bisexuality and how to think about it, because I'm sick and tired of people saying that we don't exist, and, you know, and not even the work. There are so many fragmented groups there for people like us, but it's small. These little cohorts across the country, like, you know, and I love our community, and we really try, but we're still too fragmented. So the things that I will be releasing, you know, along with some other things in the world, are designed to give you that true safe space where you can get lost in there, and you don't have to put out, you don't have to get on the field, you can just watch a game, baby, and you can, you know, throw whatever you want out there, and at the same time you can just have that mental clarity and that sense of like camaraderie with other teammates. Okay, I'll see you guys next time on Biology 101. It's been the American Bi Guy.